properly. Just want to double check. Blah, blah, blah. We're talking rubbish because we're rubbish. Talking.
Blah, 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 blah.
Blah, blah, blah.
Sounds good to me from wherever it is that's coming out of my computer.
Okay. I'm hoping we're all good and we're back. So do let us know if we still sound like lizardfish. Lizardfish? Was there such a thing as a lizardfish?
Yeah.
Those little pink things.
There you go.
With the
Salamanders.
smiley.
Much better. There we go.
There we go. Sorry about that, guys.
Excellent.
Not quite sure what was going on there, but we'll see how it goes.
Probably the OVS is exhausted because on the 8th day of sabotage, you're meant to fucking rest.
Yes.
On the 8th day of sabotage, you're meant to fucking rest.
As you might notice, there's a certain air that sort of feels a bit like, I don't know, less chaotic today, and that's because Rob Thompson isn't with us today. Yeah, no.
I thought Gabby was doing this then. I was like, yeah.
I started and then I realised I was turning into head.
So it will be just the four of us today, but I'm sure that we can have a lot of fun without that sunny, beautiful man in this place. I'm sure it'll be fine.
He's in Ibiza. He's fine.
He's in Ibiza. Yeah, agreed. Doing some sort of DJ set. Yeah, gotta be a DJ set.
Catching Pokemon, all that kind of crap.
But before I do carry on, I do want to try and say thank you to everybody who came along and ran stuff for us, played stuff with us, chatted with us, did music for us, did cabaret shows for us. So I'm going to try my very best to try and get through this list, okay? So
in one breath.
Oh my God, no, never. So thank you to Natalie Gray, to Cairo, to Cora Jane. Thank you to Eva von Schnippenich, also to DJ Bojack. I also want to say thank you to Alex Bell, John Cooper, Josh Ellison. Massive love for DM Philly and for Zach's Big Waves. Thank you so much for doing that. So thank you to Fizzlekins. I'm also going to say thank you. Here we go. So my brain starts going. To Liam Fleming. Also to Fergus Waldron. To Rowan Douglas. I'm going to say thank you to Danger Club. Merely Role Players as well. Legends of Lumus. I say thank you to Aidan to come and play in Witch is Dead with us. It was absolutely hilarious. I want to say thank you to... Oh my God, my brain's starting to go now. Joel and Joel Samuels and Yusuf. I also want to say thank you to Paul Flannery, the Pirate Mustache, and to Mark Jeffords, Bevans, Kat Davies. Right, now I'm going to need some help now. To Anatolia Tutor, to
Sergio Magic and Mario Gaviria.
Oh, God, they were amazing. Yes.
They were so good. And there's one more. Jamie McInnes, David Houston,
yes.
Kat Beresford, and I think that was everyone, wasn't it? I think that was everyone.
I feel like we missed somebody. I really do.
If we're going to go through individual people, so we've got Alex Pankhurst, Ellie Pitkin, Matt Harris, Hayley Selman, Torrin Pocock, Ryan Brannan, Natalie Winter, Charlotte Potter, and Partridge in a Pear Tree. That's two Christmas songs in the first 10 minutes, guys.
Well, and more importantly to all of you who decided to come and watch it with us, and with all of the new people who have now joined our wonderful Sabotage DM community. I couldn't be happier that you're with us, and I really appreciate you being with us. So thank you so much.
Janina Kins. We've got Janina Kins, Zach's lovely wife, and also, of course, Gabby Mack, Evie James, Rob Thompson, Joseph Thorpe, Dan Burman.
There we go. Right, we're all good. I'm going to maybe skip over the how are we all doing this week. I think maybe this week. Actually, no, fuck it. We're going to do it. We're doing a quick one. We're going to do it in If Your Christmas Song, How Was Your Week? So, Dan Burman, Christmas song, how was your week?
My Christmas song would be Fairy Tale in New York.
Mm-hmm.
Because
it was problematic.
Absolutely loved last week. absolutely loved last week. But it was a bit of a shit show sung by a drunkard. I think
Perfect.
That
lovely.
kind of sums it up. I'm very tired.
Okay, Gabby, how's your week been? If it was a Christmas song.
Okay, there's only one Christmas song I like and I can never remember the name of it. But I'm going to say my week was like driving home for Christmas because every time, like I had to work a couple of my day jobs last week, which was fine. We have to pay rent. But every time I got to come home to the Sabotage the DM stream, because there was always something on and it just brightened my day because there'd always be something coming on. So I was constantly driving on my keyboard back to... I fucked it, haven't I?
No, I love
Just
that.
just stop talking, relaxed and stop.
Okay, well, Evie James, how was your week? If it was a Christmas song.
Well, one of my favourite Christmas songs actually is "Oh Holy Night" because it's beautiful. But this week, I was saying before the stream, I've been playing so much Fortnite. So it's "Oh Holy Fortnite." I'm obsessed. It's become the new Hitman for me. I love going around, killing all those people, building walls, looking for purple guns, driving a car, driving a van, just shooting people. So yeah, "Oh Holy Fortnite." It's been a great day for killing. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much for that one.
What about you, Joe?
I think mine has been, that what I call the definitive horrific Christmas shopping song. I don't know what it's called. It's like dun 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 dun.
Oh my God.
That one, yeah. One
Yeah.
that's like it should sound like it should be Christmas in hell. A bit like that, but because it also reminds me of Home Alone as well, and that's always fun. So I think that's kind of like the kind of place that I've been in for my Christmas songs this week.
Yeah.
But thoroughly enjoyed them very, very much.
Excellent.
Okay. Now we got that out of the way. I hope everybody at home is all well and good. You may have noticed some of you miners of Sabotage bombs, you with all of those points, all you wanting to screw us over in as many ways you possibly can, and we invited very much so. So we've opened up a few more absolutely mental things that you can do with your points. So we've not only do we have the normal kind of advantages and things like that we had before. We've also added in a health potion option, so you can drop us some health potions. We've got a advanced potion option, so you can kind of give us some more interesting potions. Random treasure rolls, random encounter rolls, a wild magic table. Oh yes, we have a bit of wild magic going on here. And of course, the absolute capstone of everything that can completely destroy the stream in front of you, which will be, of course, the pulling a card from the deck of many things. So I really hope that you enjoy screwing us over as much as you can with those particular points.
I mean, who's this us, Joe? I mean, the points have been going great for us players so far. It's saved us from death a load of times. We've got loads of potions. It's yeah. I mean, I'm all here for it. Throw some wild magic.
Do you hear that, everyone? Good.
Throw it at Pups. Throw it at Pups. You're all right.
Yeah, that's the thing about wild magic. It's definitely directional.
Yeah, I also really enjoy that kind of like moment. Everyone's like, "Oh yeah, I got to pull a card because I'm definitely going to get the one that levels me up, for sure." Insta
How
death.
many are there? Are there 100
52?
cards?
Oh,
Is
No.
it 52?
I don't know.
No, I think it's about 13. So the
13.
odds ain't great. Like the
What?
odds ain't great.
There's an instant death one.
Yeah, they can put your soul into a little object that then gets hidden somewhere. It can only be freed by those around you. So
Not
that
another
could be fun.
soul we got to save, Jesus.
Oh my
So
God.
many souls.
Yeah.
Too many souls. Too many
You
souls.
were gonna go there. I knew it. But yeah, so that's gonna be quite fun. But there are also ones in there that can make you go up a level.
That's sick.
And be really super cool. Some of them are like a massive legendary item turns up at your feet. So like they can be really special. I know that they're not going to be for the stream because that's our luck. So we'll see how it goes.
Who's gonna die? Well, Rob isn't here this week, so he's
know,
he's
Oh
all
yeah.
right.
That is very, very true. So please have some fun with those. I'm guessing Dan's going to have to try and keep up with everything that's coming through.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you actually just a little bit of a housekeeping question, Joe, so I don't interrupt your flow. What is the best way for me to tell you when something has happened?
How about if it's some sort of treasure roll potion or health potion, you could always go, okay, I'm going to search this body because I'm sure that there's a health potion in it.
Cool.
That might be a way of doing it. So Daz, the random treasure roll. Okay, I've got a 1 to 4 random treasure roll generator on roll 20, which I will hit whenever they kind of stop, or maybe they're looking for things. Maybe they're inside a room looking with perception and looking for stuff. That might kind of pop up. But that's how I would do it. I would do a random roll on a generator. That will also scale as we get through into the next couple of seasons. So actually, as we get up to the higher levels, you'll start being able to find a vorpal sword stuck in the ground, that kind of stuff. So we'll see kind of how it goes from there. Right, that makes sense?
Awesome.
All right. So we're going to go almost straight into this, I think. So we need to find out, the past. What happened in the past?
Thank you. Past here. Hearing you loud and clear. I'm going to tell you what happened in the past in a form of a lovely poem. So sit back, kids, relax, sip your beers and wipe away those fears. I don't know. I didn't plan that bit. Okay. After rescuing Miss Target, the gang had a tete-a-tete. They'll take a dunk to hell for Tunk, but they won't do that just yet. With no time to rest, they did their best to save the loose Gaia. The four tried to save the tables, and luckily they were just about able, though Baggi nearly set the place on fire. Lara Roundabout fought and shouted as the landlady of the pub. The battle was won, and it wasn't much fun, but they went back home for some grub. Phatts received a flying bird from Ralph Lomley, who had some words to help them with their long-time quest. While Oshi, Pups and Bags had a rest, Phatts departed, but heard a loud bang that rang and rang inside and out of his metal chest. His natural armour suffering erosion, Big Phatts was caught in a huge explosion.
Evie James,
Evie
everyone.
James.
Main event, Evie James.
Fantastic. Yes, absolutely perfect. So I think we're going to start into our normal, what's the word I'm looking for? Montage. I always forget the word montage whenever we go to do montages. Is montage. So let's kind of get ourselves ready for some great montage action. Okay. A sheet of paper sat on a desk, the pen flowing across it, almost like a knife through butter, leaving behind the black trail of ink as it goes through, as we see the L be written into the letter, finishing the letter from R-L. He taps it, tweets into it, and says the words, Baggalina. The paper folds and folds itself into a paper berg, as he looks up at a gnome who stood with him. And he looks to them and says, I'm glad that you are here. Maybe now we can find ourselves and get some answers. As we see him walk along with this gnome, as he quickly writes another note, pose it together and whispers, Raynar Neverember, let's go of the bird. We see them walk through the streets of the North Ward, all the way up until they find themselves at the Trollskull Manor. As they begin that walk down the alleyway, they see Big Phatts begin to kind of walk out of the Trollskull Manor itself. They come together, and just as the moment as Ralph places his hand into a pocket, they look up and see a figure, as a huge explosion happens right at their feet. Cut to.
Why can't adults ever be trusted? They either lie, treat you like shit, boss you around, act like they're better than you, or worse, abandon you. I made my mistakes by trusting them in the past, and I vowed I wouldn't do that. We wouldn't do that again. Only Miz was the one that could be trusted, and I thought they were gone forever. Alphonse, Ma, even Arbor, all the same. Better to look after yourself and those that matter. And then there's Phatts. vowed to stick by us, seems trustworthy. He could be the first adult that's worth sticking around if only he would stop acting like our fucking... Shit. Cut 2.
Entering the room, Oshi's eyes immediately fall on the letter at the end of the bed. Her heart stops and starts beating faster. She recognises the handwriting straight away. Baggi bustles out, mentioning something, but Oshi isn't listening. She hasn't moved from that spot. The first letter arrived months ago, trickling in once a week, and then it got more and more and more. Even Tunk and Pups started to notice. She thought it would stop. She thought it had stopped since she paid a little visit to his daughter in her posh little school in the North Ward. Oshi's hand trembled slightly as she reaches for the letter. Now she'll have to tell someone. Now she'll have to take matters into her own hands. Now the piss pot will be empty. Gold coins to her parents' guild to save her life. It's the same message as always, but this one she doesn't set alight. Oshi closes her eyes, folds the letter back calmly, and heads to the back of number 19. This is a contract for the assassins, and it will be the best gold she has ever spent. Cut 2.
A large hall lined with wooden panels. We see a couple dozen people, humans, elves, orcs, tabaxis, all lined up in perfect regimented rows, wearing purple cloaks. Each cloak has the palm of a hand on the top left corner, which looks almost illuminated as it's so brightly white against the dark purple. Each person holds a small unlit candle. A woman stands in front of them all. One of the most important things to learn is self-control. She spits as she talks. We see Baggi amongst the group, also clothed in purple. A cocky-looking halfling stands next to her, almost half of Baggi's size, and snorts, self-control, bumblebee chuff dive here. Baggi smiles, but stares straight ahead. I want you all to think about the worst time in your life. The most hurt you've ever felt, ever been. Like your stomach has been ripped out of you. Whether that's because of heartbreak, neglect, abuse, torment, torture. And the woman means to go on, but before she can, Baggi's candle immediately begins to melt and then explodes in her hand. Every single person in the room turns around to look. Baggi stares straight ahead. Cut 2.
As we see almost the explosion kind of fall out from a tiny bead in slow motion. As we see Big Phatts begin to kind of morph, his joints exploding as his arm flies across to one side, his other to the other. His whole torso flips into the air and lands. Clang, clang, clang. At least, that is, the Big Phatts can be dismantled. The other bodies, however, are not so lucky. Flung across and landing and smashing into walls. Their bodies almost like rubber as they fly through, almost as if their bones are completely missing as they slam across. The windows smash around the hold of the alleyway as we see some people have been caught in the blast as they fall backwards. There is a man who begins to run just before the explosion, who's been pushed back far, the big scar across his face now exploding in blood as he tries to scramble forward. We see a clockwork hand come down to one of the bodies, rumble through its pockets, pull something out and run. As we watch him disappear across the rooftops, the camera falls down low into the ground as it falls into the sewers, past the sewers towards a great and ancient door that we fly through like ghosts into a room filled with hundreds and thousands of dragons. Okay. So I'm literally going to start with the words boom as the windows shatter through while you guys are having dinner. Just seeing Big Phatts has left. The flash of orange and red almost kind of blinds you, but the force knocks out the candles that are all inside the house. All you can hear is the screams from outside and the smell of that charredness. And finally, you hear a clong, almost like someone hitting a gong, except it happens maybe 3 or 4 times. As you all look at each other at the table, you kind of look up at each other. Some of you still with that ping in your ears as you shake it clear and look towards what's left of the door as it's hanging off of its hinges. What do you guys want to do from there?
Immediately run outside.
Okay, so you kind of push your chair back, and I think, do all of you do this, or are some of you sort of sitting in shock a bit?
She's going to stay in the kitchen.
Yeah, she sort of sat there, kind of like, what the fuck just happened? In complete shock, the adrenaline pumping through her veins as Baggi just pushes the chair back. Almost remembering your training as part of the Magic Victoria to kind of move towards emergency situations rather than away from.
Yeah.
As you run and you burst through the door, the door sort of rips off as you see this huge like black spot in the ground. You see the fire sort of burning slightly on the buildings, nothing to be too concerned about, but you do see a number of bodies on the floor. You can see that there is don't worry, little Rix is inside. He's safe with Voshi. You can see there are 2 bodies, one of which you definitely recognise as Ralph. The other you don't recognise at all, who's another gnome. But you do then, as you look towards them, you try to sweep around to see if there's anybody else, and you see a metal foot.
Shit. Baggy's just like, Phatts. And I think Baggi just wants to go and find the rest of Phatts and see where he is.
Okay, let's do a perception check then, please.
Amazing. First roll of the day. Here we go. Please be good. Oh, it's a 7.
7, okay. You kind of look around and you find it difficult to find. I think what you find is like a foot. You find one of his arms, and then you find his torso and his head kind of still together.
Right.
And that's kind of like pushed right across the square, probably leaning closer towards, what was the name of that space actually? Closer towards like the private detective's office that's kind of just beyond your shop or your house. But you see it kind of cropped up against the wall, kind of squashed up, no arms, no legs. As you kind of run towards it, it's clear that he's not kind of moving up to look at you in any way.
I think Baggy's like picked up definitely the foot, as it was the first thing that she saw, and it was almost like gathering to see. And she goes up to him and she does actually kind of shake him, knowing it's probably not going to work and he's probably not going to respond, and it's just like Phatts, like willing him to move in some way or say something.
And his sort of head stays down like this, and then you kind of see the smoke kind of pour out of his mouth and kind of pour up. But something that you do notice that I think you've been working on Phatts for a while. I think you understand kind of bits and pieces about him. The first place you go to is there's a small square just under his armpit, which you know to be an access point for like his internal kind of matrices, as it were. You know that there's a very important crystal in there to check. So you kind of put your hand around and you kind of flick the square, and it like bong, kind of pops open, and you can look inside and you see that there's this turquoise crystal, which is completely intact. There's no cracks on it. It's completely fine, and you know that to be his like internal power.
Yeah.
And you think that actually, let's do some tool checks. Actually, let's see if what have you got that's tooly that you could probably use to try and put him back together.
So I've got artisans or thieves.
I think it'd be wonderful if it was artisans tools, but actually, I think thieves' tools is probably closer to it.
I think
At least
so.
that's working with clockwork. At least, so let's do that with
Yeah.
some intelligence. And this is literally just a you're just checking. Do you know what I mean? You don't think
Okay.
you can rebuild him now, but you're just checking. Okay, so let's try that with intelligence, please.
Wait 1 second. Okay, let me see if I can do this. Okay, intelligence. Oh,
Nice. Yeah,
nice.
15. All right. So you think, you think as long as that crystal is still running, he is Big Phatts and he is fixable. The rest of it is literally connecting to linkages and maybe throwing some cigar or some whiskey in his face to try and wake him up. But you still think this might take a bit of time
Yeah.
to kind of make him together. As you kind of say there, I'm going to go over to the other guys. Pups, what did you do when the explosion went off?
Almost instinctively, Pups went to higher ground via the quickest route possible, whether that's out of the house and up or whether that's through a staircase. Wants to try and see out the front of the house to see who's fleeing.
Okay. So you come to your clock tower spot in your room because you're in the den, aren't you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The windows are all smashed in completely. But I think let's do a perception check and see what you can see.
Okay. I'm just looking to see. Oh no, I thought I had a spyglass. I don't. Wrong campaign. 14.
Great. I think you see from that's about. I mean, your eyesight's pretty good here, so I think about 200 feet away, maybe more, running away at high velocity. There seems to be a figure that's jumping across from roof to roof. But they are really far away.
Yeah. I don't think I'll catch them, but as a fellow sort of roof jumper, free runner kind of person, do I have any indication as to where they might be going?
Not really with a 14. I'm not gonna give you that with a 14, I'm afraid.
Fair.
You do catch a bit of like red. Is probably what I'm gonna give you. A little bit red. But then you look down and you see those two bodies on the side, and you see that there's a number of other people that have got minor injuries as well, around. Something you do notice is that there seems to have been there's something like look as if something's been dragged away, or dragged themselves away, maybe down below. As we go down to the kitchen, and I think wrapped around your leg, Oshi, is little Rix, and he's just shaking. He's not saying much. He's just shaking as you sit there with your hands against, like, holding onto the table.
So I think as soon as she feels little Rix, it like kicks her back into her body, and she goes to the sink and like flicks him off her leg into a cupboard and puts a broom through the handles, just because she's like, right, we need to protect this little kid. Like, this is the closest thing we got to a bunker. And then she looks around and she's got like glass all over in her hair and all over her arms.
Mm-hmm.
And I think she's like ducked down to like put the broom, half a broom probably, into the handles. And then when she realizes there's no other explosions, she knocks on, and she says, I'm just gonna have a cig, stay in there, to little Rix. And she just starts smoking, but she's listening to check he's okay.
And you just hear this, okay. And you sort of you could just hear that really low, and he's just repeating that over and over and over again.
And once she's finished her cigarette, because she needs to, like, she wants to get her shit back together. Mm-hmm. She slides the half a broomstick handle and opens the cupboard and says, you okay?
And he's just sort of like more pink than red, as you see that his colour has sort of slightly disappeared. His little hands are just like this, just completely shivering.
Should we make Big Phatts, Baggi, and Pups proud of us?
Mm. And then little Rick's just said, "But he went outside.
Who?
Big Phatts, he went outside."
And that's when she realises, she's like, oh shit, he did. Yeah, to see what was happening there, wasn't it?
I don't know. And he just starts crying, and he just sort of falls into kind of a mess, really, onto the ground.
Yeah. Or she could probably scoop him up, couldn't she? He's not too heavy, is he? Yeah.
Oh, he's tiny. He's literally he could probably fit in your hand. He's really small.
I think she scoops him up, and she takes him up to his room to try and find something he likes playing with. She just never really been around kids. She doesn't know how to like people with this emotion.
I'm just going to do a roll for him because I have an idea what he might do. I just want to check to see what he does. All right. Come on. Halfway up the stairs, he goes, whoa, what are you doing?
Well, we can play if you want.
No, there's people hurt. And you see he's kicked into something else. He's like, Big Phatts says, always help people. And then he looks and goes, don't give me those eyes. If it was me, you'd be up there.
What do you want to do then?
We need to find out if anyone's hurted.
Right, don't go too far away from me.
Okay.
Promise?
Promise. He puts his little finger up.
Okay, and then they pinky promise. And then she puts him down to let him walk, for she knows that he's independent enough to walk for himself.
And he's sort of like, you can see he's about 2 steps ahead of you as he's trying to lead you out the front. And I think as you get outside, you see the extent of what's kind of happened. I think also, Oshi, I know that you've got about 5, maybe 10 minutes before the coppers turn up. I think you know that.
Yeah. I think her first instinct is to go through the bodies, but because she's got a child with her, and also she doesn't know what's happened to Big Phatts, so she doesn't want him to see. So I think, has he got like does he wear clothes?
I'm not actually sure. I've never thought about Little Rick's wearing clothes. I think maybe he wears like a grey hoodie, like a hood and cloak.
Yeah.
I think he wants to look a little bit like Big Phatts, so he tries to kind of wear the same colours as Big Phatts, I think.
Well, I think as we get outside, she grabs him by the hood and pulls him, like she doesn't want him to see anything like too mad yet.
And he see him, he's like, "But we got to help them," and he got points over to the bodies.
Okay. Oh, she is going to go through the bodies.
Okay. And he kind of like wanders over and kind of like he leads towards him as, "Are they dead?"
They're definitely something. I don't know. I'm not really good with medicine and that. But what we need to do is we need to be quick and we need to be quiet. Okay?
Okay.
Do you want to check they're okay with me?
He leans towards the bodies and goes, "Are you okay with us checking with you?"
Oh, that's a yes. I heard a yes. Great.
Me too.
Good.
You start going through the pockets. I think one thing you start checking Ralph first, and you notice there's like a number of notepads and notebooks and things like this as a journalist. But I think you don't really find anything else, especially as you thought that there was supposed to be some information coming. And there is no big top secret envelope or anything like that you can see, which you were kind of expecting. But you don't seem to find anything that's like that. The other body, what you find really strange is all the bits, all the pockets, like stuffed in their pockets, already out. They're already scattered around the ground, like someone's already gone through them.
Okay. Uh,
You
yeah.
do, yeah, I think you do find there's a little red. I wonder if anyone's done any treasure rolls while I've been saying this. So there is like a little red. There is the one. Okay, I'm going to do a quick treasure roll then. All right.
Ooh.
Thanks, Daz.
Thanks, Daz. Where's my treasure roll? There we go. Okay.
We
Test.
got some. We got a little stock of potions if you want to throw them in as well, health ones.
Oh, I need to click somebody. Right. Let's do that. Test macro. Oh, okay. So you also find a square cut malachite gem, which is worth 8 gold pieces, and you find a bottle with red liquid in it.
Boop, boop.
But yeah, that's what's strange about the other one is that all their stuff has been laid out. There's even like a bag there's even this malachite gem lying on the ground. So is for you as a sort of a seasoned criminal, I think you're like, well, they obviously were looking for something more particular. And you start to think that maybe this person was the target, not necessarily Ralph. You look at your watch. You reckon there's 3 minutes. As we go upstairs, so we see where Pups is sort of stood at the window, kind of looking over. You've just seen Oshi run to the bodies, and you know what she's doing.
Yeah. How high up is Pups?
That floor. So you could probably jump out.
Yeah, I'm gonna jump out, land, and go to because I got slow fall now.
Mm-hmm. Oh
So
shit!
like,
yeah, we're level 4, aren't we? I forgot about that.
Level 4. Level 4. Yeah, so Pups is going to do like a gainer off the top of the land, and then go and inspect the trail, like the thing that seems it's been dragged. And as we sort of go past, do they hear any signs of life from these people? Are they worth attempting to try and save?
You do hear somebody. There's like a child and a mother. The child's face is completely covered in blood, and she's just like, "Help me, help!" As you try to run
Pups
past.
Deviates and just ask goes up and says, I can help, please, can I?
And the boy's like, he's like beyond crying as his face is kind of all burnt and there's blood kind of pouring out from his face.
I think Pup sort of goes full blown Mr. Miyagi, like rubs hands together, concentrates, like puts hand over the wound, and hands of healing for 7.
Ooh, nice. So you kind of place your hands upon his face, or just above his face. Actually, I don't think you even need to touch him at this point. And as you kind of go further, you can see that kind of almost like that not necrotic but burnt flesh is sort of beginning to kind of crumble away as you kind of like as you get close to the face, and then you wipe the face. You take away that burnt, and his face is like scarred free. And the mother looks up and she just says, "We were just walking to the market, and." And we saw something up on the roof, and then she starts to break down, and she almost as if she needs some sort of guidance to try to continue talking.
Pups tries to keep eye contact with her and says, hey, it's okay. You're in shock. There's been a big explosion. It's okay. Just you saw something on the roof.
Yes. Like, you know those things that are often in the Clockwork Festival. They're like, and then she kind of points over to one of Big Phatts' legs, and it's like that, like a construct. He had a long, almost like wiry beard. His metal was like brushed like brass, and he was wearing a red cloak. He stole something from that body. And he kind of points over to the gnome.
Did you see what it was?
No. Some sort of mechanical creature of some kind. But I don't know what he was he took. It seemed to fit in his hand. Small. There is all a bit of a blur, you know. It's a bit, especially when I realised that my son was hurt.
It's okay. He's gonna be okay. I think just try and get him some help. Okay.
Could you do an insight check for me?
Yes, I can. 26.
You think that it's not that she's lying, but
Uh-huh.
you think that there is another piece of information that she might remember with a bit of help.
Okay.
And you kind of look back behind you to where you were almost like you're about to leave, and then you see that trail. And you kind of come back to her.
Oh, I'm not sure where you're going with that.
So you can see like the drag marks from the guy where somebody had pulled themselves away. And that kind of gives you an idea that maybe you could focus your questions on that, maybe.
Yeah. So I look towards her, and I say, look, just try to, like, I hold my hands out and say, just try to match your breathing with me. Just take a second, just try and I try and slow down her breathing first, try and calm her down, clear her mind. And then I direct her in the direction of the tracks and say, look, was it about that sort of size thing that you saw?
Okay, could you do a medicine check for me, please?
Yes. I'm going to use an advantage for this. Thank you, Red Panda Gamer. 23.
23. Okay, so she kind of manages to calm down. And she says, yes, there was a fourth person. He seemed dark, muscular. He had a scar across his face. Hey God, I've seen his face before. And she kind of thinks to herself, she goes, 600 gold pieces. His face was on a wanted poster.
Oh no, this isn't person from Random Encounter, is it?
I remember that it had like a nickname on it. I think it was Dagger. But he seemed to run towards them before the explosion, but got hit as we did. I think. I might be wrong. It is quite confusing.
No, it's okay. You've been through a lot. You've been very helpful. Do I have any kind of sense that she knows anything other than that?
No, she's really shaken up.
Yeah.
I think you're surprised you got that out of her.
Yeah.
And then suddenly you hear, okay, that's enough. Nothing to see here. Nothing to see. As you see this bunch of like city watch kind of pour into the street, and they kind of like start going towards the body. They're kind of ignoring all the people that are injured, to be honest, and sort of going straight towards Ralph's body and this other person, this gnome. I think, Baggi, you recognize one of them because you also see that there's a couple of the magic Pretoria there.
Mm-hmm.
You see a halflings there as well. And he's also kind of joined, like seems to be part of like an official like task force that's been kind of sent to investigate this. And they're like, I said, please, nothing, please, can you get away from the body? And he sort of shouts at you, Oshi.
And I think Oshi has got like maybe some soot and dust off the floor and has rubbed it all over little Ricks and all over herself, so she can pretend she's also like was out in it. So they just so they can like skulk away and be like, oh gosh, sorry.
Could you do a little performance check for me, please? And I'm going to do them for little Ricks as well.
Oh,
25.
Great. Oh, and a nat 20 from Little Rick.
Yes, Little Rick.
And he literally, his eyes open up, you know, the little redness underneath, the tears going down the soot, and he goes, "Explosion killed Daddy." And he sort of like, and he sort of begins to cry as you kind of hold his hand. So you're kind of like down here somewhere, holding his hand, and you're playing. And what do you say to them, actually?
To
the police
police.
force? Yeah.
She says, don't worry, officer. I'll look after this young orphan. And then she like scoops him up, and she does actually hug him because she's like, "Yeah, you can be my favorite yet, my friend." And she also says, "You can please report any findings back to us. You know, having somebody doing this in our beautiful, homely, calm area is just so frightening."
Well, this is what we're here for. And he sort of like stands a little bit, serve and protect, as it were. And he kind of stands nice and proud, completely ignoring that there's like 8 or 9 people around with burns and like broken legs and shit. But he's far more interested in sort of standing in front of you. As you kind of see this kind of this very fat magic protector called Barnabas Blastwind. And it's this little halfling, and he kind of walks in and goes, "Oh, hang on, let me check. Oh my!" I'm trying to get the right accent now that you started with. Hang on.
All right.
All right there. Oh, well, it looks like it might have been a bit of a fireball in her. And he kind of looks down, and you can see that there's like a single point, I suppose, between where the body's probably would have started. And like the explosion's kind of gone out this way. And he looks down.
Baggi stands directly behind Barnabas, towering over him, and just goes, "Barney."
What? All right, Baggi.
All right there, Blast Windy. How are you doing?
And you remember that Barnabas was probably number 2 during your training course because you were number 1. Until you obviously left halfway through, meaning that he became number 1. He goes, "Oh, didn't know you'd be here."
Well, I wasn't expecting to see you either.
"Oh, fully fledged magic Victoria, mate." He kind of like picks up his badge. "It's for those who can strong enough to finish the course."
Yeah, very funny. But your mum's happy though, isn't she?
She's very proud of me.
Yeah, well, you're one of the lucky ones. I'm sorry,
You live round her?
Yeah, actually, quite close nearby. We had the explosion and came to see what was going on.
Actually, I borrow your eye.
Well, sorry, say that again.
Can I borrow your eye?
Yeah.
You've always been better at physics than that.
Well, what is it?
I reckon that is the epicenter of the explosion. And he kind of points, and you can see that there's like almost like marble size sort of gap of the ground, and then the rest is black. How can something so small have such an amazing and massive explosive power?
Do you think it's well, some kind of magic? Fire enhanced with explosion?
I think it's some sort of not castable magic. Maybe an item. But I'm not sure. Could you do a Arcana check for me, please, Baggi?
Yes. Do I have any advantages, Mr. Burman?
You have 2.
Well, I'm going to use one. Phew. It's a 23.
Ooh, yeah.
Nice, 23. You reckon this is some sort of bead of some sort? Maybe a bead of fireball. That essentially you kind of pick it off the necklace and you're able to kind of chuck it and then create the explosion from a small bead, essentially. Good, I am completely stumped.
I have an idea what it might be. Something from a piece of jewellery.
Like what?
Tiny little bead. You know the kind.
Or fireball. Maybe some sort of bead of fireball.
Yeah.
Oh, my word. And he kind of looks around and goes, "Oh, blimey, is that Ralph?" And he kind of looks over. I reckon that's that journalist, isn't it? It's Ralph Lumley.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it is.
And then he's like, realizes that, oh shit, he really shouldn't be on this case because it's now turned into high profile case. I shouldn't be talking to you, civilian. Please stand back, please.
Yeah. Barney, do me a favour.
It's Barnabas Blastwind.
Yeah, all right, Barnabas Blast, but no one's here yet. Just don't mention that you saw me, okay?
Why?
Well, because I fledged.
That was all right. We all know what you did after.
Okay.
Stronger than I, anyway.
Shut up. All right. Anyway, thank you for all your hard work, Barnabas Blastwind.
Very well, civilian. And he sort of turns around and goes back to the body. And then he kind of starts digging into the body and figuring out what the hell happened. I think as you do that, I think Pups, you kind of look behind you, and you hear these kind of footsteps go behind you. As you kind of look up and you see a very shocked Raina is sort of stood in the alleyway, sort of looking out towards the explosion and towards where Ralph is. You can see his eyes drift to the other body, and his eyes become transfixed on the gnome's body. He doesn't even realize you're there.
Pups, just fixes on him and says almost a little bit more forcefully to try and like break him out of his trance. Who was it?
Pups, good to see you. And then kind of like goes back, sort of staring at the body.
Raina, who is it?
Sorry. It's like seeing a ghost. That is my father's right-hand man, Dalakar.
How long since you saw them last?
It's been 12 years. I didn't even know he was in the city. I got a letter from Ralph. It told me that he had something of mine to return to me. But Dalakar is not owned. He's not an owned person. He was... we don't do that. There must have been something else on him. Has anybody checked it? And he just sort of starts walking forward. The kind of police go to sort of stand, or the city watch go to stand in front of him. And as soon as they touch him, he goes, "Will you put your hands off me?" And it's like probably the first time that you've seen him play the Lord, really.
Yeah.
And he's like, I am Lord Neverember. Get out of my way, you twit. And it's like, he kind of puts his hand down and he's,
Pups immediately, on hearing that, Pups immediately falls in behind over the shoulder into bodyguard mode and asserts all lordly privileges along with Mr. Neverember.
Very nice. I'm not going to ask for a performance check on it because I think it's too good to do so. And you kind of walk in with him and he sort of sits and he sees like looking through the body of different things, trying to find something. And he's like, there's nothing here I recognize. There's nothing here that should be mine in any way.
Do you think it could have been a trap?
But if it was a trap, then why is he dead here also?
Maybe they wanted to lure you out from your tower and here. And I mean, there is that over there, like, and he points over at the drag marks. Does this mean anything to you?
No. But why would they be coming here to you? What's your connection to Ralph or Dalakar?
I don't really know Galakar, but we met with Ralph recently. We were going to be interviewed by him about a few things from the past.
Was he doing anything for you? I think maybe you're a little shaken. Maybe we should go. You live. I know that you live there. And he kind of points over to like the closest smashed up house. He's like,
Yeah.
Maybe a tea.
And I think as he says that, I think Pups just under his breath just goes, shit. Yeah. Let's go in and see if Lif can make us something.
Yeah.
It ushers Raynar in. I'm presuming that Baggi and Oshi are not in eye or earshot at the moment.
Oh, I'm not sure. Where are you guys?
I think Baggy's begun collecting his parts. It sounded awful as I said it, but yeah, I think she's gathering up all of his bits and bobs. That still sounds really bad. There's no way of saying it.
Yeah, to pick up all of his
limbs,
arms and legs, bodies,
arms and legs. Yes,
yes.
yes.
So you're sort of dragging those in. Oshi, what are you doing?
I think she's already gone back in. She's sat on the bar stool that Lif like moved to her, that little Rix had like made up, like tried to be nicer. And there's some of that really nice whiskey, I think it was. And she just says to Rix, "Are you supposed to drink this? Are you having one, or is that not?" To little Rix, she's offering him a shot or a drink.
Oh, usually I have it with water.
Well, listen, as you get older, you're gonna have to change that because people take the piss out of you at the pub. And then Lif just brings over like half water, I'm guessing, in a glass, and Oshi tops it up with a bit of whiskey.
God.
Drinks it. It's good juice.
What are we doing to this kid, man?
He'll be all right. He's just seen lots of bodies outside.
He needs it.
He needs it.
I think as we're going in true sort of like teenager form, Pups is over the sending stone like this, and like as he's following in Neverember, almost like not even looking, just sort of like out on the sending stone and texting Oshi to say like, Baggi mentioned where she went. She didn't mention the boyfriend, and just puts the sending stone back in the pocket.
And you just hear this clonk, and I think this is actually the first time you two have seen Big Phatts in bits, because none of you went to look for Big Phatts. So it's almost like a leg kind of falls through the door, bang, bang, and you see little Rix go.
Oh no, Rix! Oh God, is he gonna cry? Please,
Rix, no more juice if you start crying, man. Just be quiet.
Don't cry.
Thank you.
Don't cry. It
Can't be
looks...
dealing with that.
it looks weird, but I think I'll be able to fix him. He's just in parts at the moment. He just needs putting back together like
And he kind of
jigs.
Like a toy.
He puts
Like a
his
top,
drink
yeah.
down, and like, I don't know why I did that. He like puts it on the bar, and he kind of wanders over, and you can see him put his hand on Big Phatts' face, and sort of stroke it. And he looks up to you, and he goes, "You fix him. You put him back together."
Little Rex, I will fix him, and I will put him back together, and he will be giving you cigars quicker than you know it.
You need my help. I could get my tools.
Oh,
Do you know what?
Baggy, while you're at
What?
it, do you reckon you can make him like less grumpy? Like if you could rewire something in the back.
I say, don't you rewire Big Phatts.
But what if we could like put maybe some sort of like flourish, like maybe like a whisk on top of his head?
Well, I was thinking maybe we could use some of the kitchen utensils to put him back together, just to really.
It's what he would have wanted.
I think so.
And then Raynar sort of steps in, like, "Hi."
Oh,
It's like, I know for a fact that your friend Baggi here is an amazing mechanic. I also know that your mum was an amazing horseshoe maker. And I know that your family are one of the most important horseshoe makers in all the city. And we also know that Big Phatts is one of the most important people in this city. We're not going to let him. He's going to be put back together. Here. And he puts his hand in his pocket and he pulls out a gold piece. And he gives it over, and like you see little Rick's like looks towards Oshi and goes, "Whoa." And he goes, okay, here, have two more. And he's like, "Ah." And he pops them in his pocket.
Love him, mate. She's coming round to him.
Oh no!
And he kind of like he tries to pull a leg, so he's then pulling a leg up the stairs to try and help put him back together. Are you going to go upstairs straight away with him, or are you going to stay here and chat for a little bit, Baggi?
I think I'm going to stay and chat because I think Little Rix can probably just about get the limbs. It'll take him a while, but you know, we'll be fine.
Yep.
And I kind of want to hear what everyone else has found and share my info. So,
Okay. I'm sorry. He's going to be okay, right? Big Phatts. I haven't just lied to a child, have I?
It'll probably take a while, but I'm pretty confident he's not gone. He just needs fixing and putting back together. Yeah, he'll be back. He will be back.
You have any idea why Ralph and Dalakar would be coming here? And why would they be coming here? And why would they be asked for me to come here too? Sorry, Dalakar is the gnome outside.
Oh.
He was my father's right-hand person.
And he was with Ralph.
Yes.
He was going to give us information, no?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who was?
Ralph.
About what? And he kind of leans forward and he grabs hold of the bottle off your hand, or she. He gets himself a glass. Don't worry, he's not going to drink out of the bottle. He kind of pours it out as a drink. Yeah, about what?
Well, we'd spoken to Ralph to find out some information on a personal matter. Really,
Okay.
he was going to look in.
Sorry. He sort of like spits because of the whiskey.
Baggi shoots a look at Oshi and Pups as if like looking for approval to say why he was coming, which family.
Pups gives yes eyes.
Okay. We wanted to find out more about the Castellantas.
Okay.
It's a personal thing. And we think he found some potential information.
Okay. Well, it seems if our personal matters have intertwined somehow.
In what way?
Well, it seems as if Dalakar was somehow connected to the information that he's brought to you.
True.
The guy had a letter, and he kind of pulls out the letter from Ralph, and you see the same RL written in the corner. He says that I should meet you here because he has something of mine to give to me. Now, as I said to Pups outside, I don't think it's Dalakar. I think they had something else with them. And I think the last time I saw you, we spoke about how I thought maybe this rumour of the gold might be true. And if it is true, and Ralph had information about that, maybe Dalakar had something that may have helped in some way, then they would want him dead to take that thing and to stop information from spreading.
The game.
Yes. The game.
The game.
What do you know about the game?
I know that now I've thought of the game, I've now lost the game.
Oh,
But
Same.
Pups punches a wall.
Fucking hell! Baggi just explodes.
No,
Fucking
another one.
game.
Because the network has been trying to find out. Death save? Wow, all right.
Lost the game.
My organisation has been trying to find out what this game is really about and who are the players. It seems that we knew of two, and we still don't know who the third might be. The Xantarum and the Xanathar are definitely somehow involved in this. What have you found? I mean, you must have looked around this place before the police arrived. What did you find?
Well, I think I know what caused the explosion.
What was it?
A tiny, tiny bead. Bead of fireball. I'd actually
Like-
bet money that it was something very, very small.
Almost from like a necklace of some kind.
Exactly. Didn't you lose a locket with a bead inside?
Yes. I mean, imagine me carrying around a bead of fireball all these years. But why would they want a bead of fireball? I mean, I know that they're expensive, but you can get hold of them.
Well, it
True.
seems that everyone who tries to, or anyone who has any kind of links to the Castellantas, dies in tragic and explosive circumstances.
Why? Who else?
People linked to the school.
I remember you talking about the school. Yes. Maybe Ralph has some incriminating evidence. Maybe the Castellantas are behind this explosion. Maybe they just paid somebody to throw it, turn up, run in, throw a ball and run.
Yeah, maybe
Someone like the Assassin's Guild, maybe, or maybe even the Centarum. I mean, they're funny that in what way. They may even spend and pay somebody to do their dirty work for them.
yeah, maybe like an escaped criminal.
Well, I didn't see anyone when I went out. It was still too smoky by the time I went. Immediately after I heard the explosion, I didn't see anyone fleeing.
That there was a lady out there with a kid. She said she saw someone fleeing, match a description of like the dagger, someone like that. Out of world for a second. Is that the person from that poster that we saw?
Yeah, so she's talking about the guy who got dragged away. The drag marks is who she's talking about. And yes, it is the poster from the ignored random encounter that you guys decided. But remember, she did talk about something else.
The female person, right?
Person on the.
Oh, the construct.
And he's like, a construct.
Yeah, like a wiry beard, red colouring on a cape, something like that. Does that mean anything to you?
There's a craze going on. Called a nimble right.
Yeah,
like,
went from roof to roof.
Like mechanical creatures. And he sort of grabs a piece of paper and sort of draws kind of roughly on this piece of paper and hands it to you for you to kind of like do the last bits to kind of change it to look like the one that you had. And you kind of like draw out this kind of pointed wiry beard. Oh, very much like mine actually. Very pointed wiry beard. And this kind of big red hat. So I'm just looking for the picture. There we go.
So we're doing like a police sketch together.
Yeah.
Exactly. I'm just going to pop over to the other screen so that people can see it. There we go.
That is fucking cool.
So you kind of like...
That is a sexy robot.
Something like this.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, this is a nimble right. Mechanical being. You often see them at the carnivals. I'm not sure if you've ever seen them at the carnivals at all.
Not in this part of the city, no. Are they rare? Are they easy to come by?
No, not rare to come by. Expensive. Very expensive. However, I have seen a few of the noble families gaining some of these recently.
So they're expensive to make.
But they are... I mean, it's interesting you drew something extra on there. They are often unique in how they look. Never two are made the same, which is possibly going to help us out here. And he kind of looks at you for a while. And then you just... sorry. No, carry on, Dan. Sorry.
I was going to ask what was the unique thing that Pups added to it?
The beard. You added that extra beard to it.
So we just need to find whichever family is making these kinds or this kind, and then we've got our suspect, right?
Yes. The docks. Then maybe we can talk to some other neighbour families, see where they got theirs. Maybe we can find the source. If we can find the source, then we can find out who was delivered this particular one.
Sounds good. Sounds better than going up against a load of noble folk. No offence.
None taken. If only we knew what Ralph had. Maybe it could have helped us in some way.
Is there any way of... Is there? Did we check Ralph's body?
Yeah, she did.
Oh, she did.
Just
all of his stuff was out. And she found the malachite in there, but it looks as if someone went through his pockets for a particular thing. I'm guessing somebody checked the body, and he kind of looks around at you two and goes, did you go through Delacar's pockets? Did you find anything?
Little Rix and I did go through it, and we didn't find anything.
Anything unusual? Anything? I mean, anything could be a clue, right?
And Oshi does the same look at Baggi and Pups, because Oshi wasn't at the meeting at his house, was she? So she didn't really know anything that's gone on with all the drama. So she looks at Pups and Baggi as like can we trust? Are we doing this? And then she says, well, there was a mallet tie. Wait, how do you say it?
It was a
A
malachite.
malachite gem on your father's friend, the gnome, and both their pockets were already emptied
So someone has gone through it.
already.
Right. Did any of the witnesses say who might have taken it out of his pocket? And Pups, I think you remember that the witness was talking about how a nimble right had come down and taken something out of his pocket. Just want to make sure that's clear. But you,
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, it's very CSI at the moment, so I
There's so
appreciate
much
the
information
assistance.
going
It was this thing. It was the spindly robot thing. She said it like swung down and grabbed everything that they could and then ran away across the rooftops.
So let me get this straight. We have you and Raynar and Dalakar and the dagger in one place, or separately caught in the crossfire.
Who's
And
who's the dagger?
a person who
Yeah, like
mentioned.
Did you remember the name Erstal Floxin? Oh yes, I know Ursel.
So Ursel was there, and a nimble right or somebody set off this explosion from afar and escaped, and someone dragged themselves away, leaving Ralph and Dalakar dead.
My word. Well, if Ursel was here, it means the Zentarum were definitely interested in whatever Dalakar was carrying. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if somebody injured out there doesn't actually come from your neighborhood and maybe is also a Xanathar agent. This whole place is teeming. There you go. Teeming with players from the game. Just going to show everybody at home what he looks like. By the way, that's Ursel Floxin at home. Everyone, there he is. Lovely looking chap. Because we talked about him so much over the last couple of streams that we've not actually seen his face. So I might also do that for you guys so you can see him. Where is he?
Yeah, go on.
If I've got one for him, sometimes I don't have them. Oh my god, they don't have one for him. They don't have a handout. Oh man.
Sad times.
Man. All right. Well, I will make sure I'll find a way of getting a picture to you at some point. All right. But look, I think I'd rather, if it's okay, to stay here with you for a little while. Maybe I can send some birds and see if I can get some invitations to dinner somewhere, so that we can maybe talk to some of these owners of these nimble rights and find out where they got them. Maybe.
I don't know about all of you, but I'm a bit sick of being behind this all the time. I'm a bit sick of there being, something happening and us just discovering that it's Xantarum's over here and Xanathar's over there. I want to get ahead of this. I want to figure out a way to get ahead of this, get to a source of something, and stop playing catch up. I don't want to get caught in another explosion.
They asked about him, and Oshi directs this to Pups and Baggi, but in the earshot of November. When they were trying to get information out of me, they asked about him.
What about me?
And Oshi flashes him a look. He has something to do with the game. They know we'd been with him. That's what they wanted out of us.
Why would they want you, Raina?
I'm guessing something to do with my father. Or something that Dalakar was carrying for me to come here. That's the only thing I can imagine, anyway. It's the same way that when you found me the first time. Let me guess. They asked you about the game. They asked you about a locket.
Yeah.
Yeah. Except mine, they just took my locket. They asked me about whether I was involved in the game. They asked me if I was any other players of the game. And
Yeah.
Ursel was there. Was he there when the Zeds took you?
The one with the scar?
Yes, from the one you described earlier. The Zentarum when they took you.
Yeah.
It was the Xanathar that took you, by the way. Just so
Yeah.
too many Zeds. My God.
So many Zeds.
Too many Zeds.
My God.
So when he says when the Zentarum took you, you kind of like correct him, and you say the Xanathar. He's like, oh. It's almost exactly the same questions. Well, look,
So they're both in it.
they're definitely in it.
The Castellantas?
Undoubtedly so. Look. Maybe this is a stupid idea, but maybe we should get in there first.
Where?
That's a stupid question. And he kind of like leaves it and he kind of goes over to get water.
And
November. Where?
It doesn't matter.
Do you mean the game?
I think it's too dangerous.
They already think we're involved.
They do? Of course they do. Otherwise, why would they explode something outside?
Let's go.
We don't have enough information.
So we get it. We all dress up in our fancy garb and go and knock on some of your posho mates.
To do what?
To go in,
Exactly.
ask them about these weird robot jobbies with beards on.
how much does one of them go for, November?
15, 25,000 gold pieces?
Okay.
Surely there's only one or two people in the whole of Waterdeep that could possibly put these things together. It can't be that hard to find.
What about if I try and order one?
Now you're talking.
And then we can find out who actually I can order them from itself. I still have some friends in the Lords. I mean, not many.
Well,
Maybe
that sounds
they
like a
can-
better idea than sniffing around people going, where did you get your nimble right from?
It's sort of like as you say that, like this, like oh, she's looking across at you, like daggers in her eyes, and that's a great idea. Yes, and he literally downs his water, puts it down. I'm gonna go now, actually. And he kind of just walks almost like straight out the door with purpose. But as you kind of look out the window after him, because obviously you've got no windows, you can hear that he's actually been going out, just sort of like sorting out the people in the neighborhood a little bit, before he leaves. Sort of giving out coin, offering services, helping people clear things. Just as he kind of walks through, it's not like he's stopping to do anything fucking brilliant. He's just sort of using his money well. As he kind of continues on out, as you kind of like turn back towards each other.
Bit of a tryhard, isn't he?
I don't get him.
What's the game?
Who knows? But people seem to want to play it, and people seem to think we're part of it. So I guess we're playing.
So we see you guys kind of go off a little bit on your separate ways in the house. I think Baggi, you go straight upstairs.
Yeah.
And you spend the next hour trying to put Big Phatts back together again. And you think you've got it. I think little Rix is there, handing you a number 10, and then and you go to his off switch. I can't remember where his off switch was. Is it by his bum? I can't remember where his off switch was.
You never told
his
us.
off switch. He never told us.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, he doesn't want us to know.
I think Baggi, you find his off switch to tell me where his off switch is.
No, yeah, it's obviously by his bum.
Right, so
That's why he doesn't want to tell anyone where it is.
So you kind of turn him off and turn him back on again, and what you hear is it sounds like paper stuck in a fucking printer.
Oh God! And she just shoots a look at Rix, and she's like, "Did you leave a wrapper in there?"
No, I didn't.
When I told you to go in,
I didn't do
just double
it.
check. Right, well, we're gonna have to open it back up again, aren't we?
Fine. And it's clear that you two have been working side by side for too long. So he kind of he hands you a flathead screwdriver, and you start undoing his breastplate to kind of pop it off. And you kind of open it up, and what you see is that down through his sort of gullet, in his storage compartments, a big brown envelope full of paper that has kind of got stuck in some gears.
Oh my God!
See, I told you I didn't leave a whapper in there.
Yes, yeah, Rix, yes, very good. Well done for not doing that. And she just gently pulls it out, and all the gears turn. She's pulling it in the right direction so she can just about get it out.
All right.
And yeah.
Let's do a sleight of hand.
No, I knew you were going to say that. I was hoping I could just be like, it's all perfectly fine. Oh, it should be all right. Let's see. It's a 10.
Oh, okay. So as you kind of pull it out, I'm just going to say a small spring pings off into the room somewhere. You don't know where it is.
Shit.
Yeah, you just go, shit.
Shit.
Ping.
Baggi just turns to Rix and goes, Rix,
Where?
go find that. The little spring. Did you hear that? It's gone
No.
somewhere. You win if you're the first one to find it.
What do I win?
You win Big Phatts back.
Okay.
Ready?
And a gold coin.
Love this kid.
And Baggi just goes, Oshi, I'm gonna. Yes. Oshi
Okay.
will give you a gold coin.
He kind of runs around and sort of sniffs around, and he goes, "Oh, she won't give me a gold coin."
Oh, fine, I will give you a gold coin. Ready, steady, go.
And he just goes straight into the ground like he's looking for a contact. So his nose sort of sniffing against the floor as he's sort of searching the ground looking for it.
And whilst he's distracted, Baggi is just immediately opening this letter and trying to digest all or whatever is in it, all the contents.
So as you kind of pull it out, the first page is you realise this is a dossier file on the Castellantas. It's about an inch thick. You can see that it's, as you kind of pull it out, you open the first page, and you see 2 words: the game. As you turn over a page, you read, essentially you start reading almost like a transcript of a conversation between Ralph and one of his informants. And they're talking about something called the Stone of Golor. As we kind of stand there and watch you kind of start reading reading through the dossier. It's clearly kind of been given to Big Phatts from Ralph, and Big Phatts has managed to stuff it in his gob before the explosion has happened. And we kind of see you kind of watching and reading through this as your eyes kind of widen. We kind of like focus onto Baggi's face as we're going to take a small little break. Okay, good.
Course.
Very information heavy. I know it's quite a crazy one to kind of fill up with. But now you've kind of found the dossier, which I think is the thing that I wanted to give you for like weeks now. All right. So
Wait, what weeks? When did that happen?
So like when you've been talking to Ralph, last time we spoke to Ralph was like weeks ago.
Yeah.
In like our time weeks, not like weeks. Okay.
Oh, see, I thought like he handed it to him just then outside, and Fats just like saw the explosion about to go off, went.
Oh no, that's exactly when. But I've been waiting to give you this information. Me, Joe Thorpe has been waiting to give you this information for ages. So he kind of like you've now found this kind of thing. You are now, I think, in the start of something.
Great.
You kind of accidentally found yourself in the start of something. With Radar off looking for the owner, or looking to buy himself a nimble right, you're kind of beginning your investigations towards finding out who may have thrown this fireball, and what the hell is the Stone of Golor. So have a think about that. Go on break, but I think we might have a few questions before we go on break, a few tasks for you.
Yes. So for those of you who caught up on any of the aspects of 7 Days of Sabotage, first of all, thank you. You're amazing. Some of you stuck by us the whole time, and it was incredible. Marathon humans that you are. We'd love to hear from you. Like, we'd love to hear, like, what was your favorite session? Like, what would you like us to see us do more of? Would you like to see more silly one-shots? Would you like us to add another campaign, like something that you saw during the week to like extend out? Did you like the talk show stuff? Did you? Is there anything else that you want to see? Do you want more guest players, more guest DMs, just a variety of things? Like, what? Like, yeah, just tell us a little bit about what you thought. Like, throw it all into the chat. I'll put those questions in there now because I probably rattled through them way too quick. But yeah, just whilst we've got this little break, by all means, please tell us what you thought about 7 Days of Sabotage and what you'd like to think next, and what you'd like to see next, because that may influence the meetings we might be having.
Yeah, exactly. I'm also going to say I fucking love CSI Waterdeep. I am up for this. So thank you very much, Catastrophe, and really lovely to see you. Welcome. But yeah, I have to now. I think I might even look at make a campaign CSI Waterdeep, because that would be absolutely brilliant. Anyway, we're going to pop on a little break. We're going to have a quick word from our good friends, Merely Role Players. Search for them wherever you find good podcasts, and we're going to pop them on now, and then we'll have a little break. All right, so we'll see you guys in a little while. Bye.
Toodle
Life's a game, the world's a stage, and we're merely role players. Now playing in the main house, Vigil.
It's true. My department has abandoned this town and left you to fend for yourselves against your worst nightmares. But I promise I'm not going anywhere, and I'm asking you to join me. Your neighbours never need to wake up and remember their nightmares, because we'll be there, keeping watch.
Vigil, a Merely Role Players production. Search for Merely Role Players wherever you find podcasts. Maximum drama guaranteed.
Oh. Welcome back, everybody. I got my water. Okay,
I'm
so
doing
let's
that.
see.
Copyright.
Oh well, never mind. That's fine. Happy birthday to you. So, here we go. So we got I got our drinks ready. We've got everything here. We've got our big wave going from Dan, which I completely forgot to mention the whole way through this. All right.
Wave, Dan.
Wave, Dan.
Wave.
Wave.
Dan.
Wave.
Wave.
Dan.
Wave.
Wave, Dad.
Wave.
Okay, so we asked you over the break what stuff you would like to see more of going forward from last week. Dan, you've been checking out the chat. What has people been saying they would like to see more of?
So we have had. I'm just going to check because it looks like the stream might have frozen. Oh, we're back. So we have got continuation of Rime of the Frost Maiden, which would be really, really fun. More silly one-shots.
Yeah.
So like one-pagers and like, yeah, I would love to do Dead of Night, watching it the other day. I think that would be a lot of fun. I'd love to do Werewolves. I'd love to get everyone back who did 7 Days of Sabotage and as many of the viewers as we could and play a giant game of Werewolves. And then I actually asked another question of like what would be a good number of times per week to come and watch things. Daz, bless, has said every day. I'd probably tune in every night. This is someone who watched during his anniversary. Daz, we love you. From one anniversary to another, we love you. And the randomness of it. Catastrophe Cat saying like love tuning in and not knowing what you were going to get that day. And again, Daz, to be fair, I'd watch you guys play Cluedo or Monopoly just to see the role play.
Make Cluedo. Cluedo. Everyone hates Cluedo. I fucking love Cluedo, man.
I'll do Cluedo. I won't do Monopoly. Right.
No, Monopoly needs to be banned.
Yeah, Monopoly is good for starting fires. That's pretty much it. Like,
it's
I
the
hate
worst.
Monopoly so much.
I'll just literally fall out with people I genuinely love and care about. I just end up hating them.
Yeah.
So it's just an awful game. No.
As we're watching some of
So,
the
if you would like to
reruns.
watch the Waterdeep Mallrats fall out, please click yes for Monopoly in the chat
No.
box.
No. As
Risk.
I think, as Mash would say from Emperor of the Waves, no.
No, big no. Big slimy
Oh my
no.
god. Risk would be great, but it would take so goddamn long.
Yeah.
So long.
It's such a long game.
I've got a question for you guys and for the chat because I had a little think. I think it was earlier today. One of the days have been weird recently. I can't think why. But I was thinking with this tech that we've got and the things that we've learned, and with like the restrictions changing and everything like that, like. How would you guys feel about maybe one day doing this all in the same room?
That's scary.
3 minute.
Yeah, you don't know how much technology we actually need to do that, Dan. I've thought about it, and it's a lot.
Yeah?
It's a lot of technology.
Yeah.
Yes. It's a
Oh,
lot.
but it would be
One camera
so
on board, one camera on the
nice.
room. Yeah.
Yeah, like one iPhone. I reckon like you get a wide shot on an iPhone. You get 2 of us in each shot. We'd all need to have a laptop for Roll20, yes. But
That means everyone could hear my laptop taking off. That'd be great.
You're all guys thinking about visuals, and I'm talking about sound. Like, forget
oh
the
yeah,
visuals.
we still have little microphones. Oh, we've all got sexy microphones.
You have no idea. You have
That's
no
why I want to
idea,
do it,
Dan.
Joe. I'm blissfully ignorant, willfully ignorant. I'm a dreamer.
Yeah, probably. We probably could do it. It's just gonna be difficult for me to figure it out, but we'll figure it out, I'm sure. And it'd be lovely to do a
We'll
real life
figure
one.
it out. It's okay. I've got so many cables. It's
I know
fine.
what we
All the
could do.
cables.
We could do it in like a theatre that already had mics and lights.
I could do.
Oh, now that's fucking cool.
And we could invite audiences in.
Mhm.
Who
Yeah, I'd
has
love
a
to
venue?
I would really like to do a live one. I was thinking
Maybe in
about
some
maybe...
sort of vault somewhere.
So I was thinking about that at some point, but I would love to see more one shots. I would really like to see the pirates one continue. Actually, the John's Pirates. I thought that was hilarious. I'd love to see Scott continue with Pumpkin.
So
Yeah, that would be really, really lovely.
Sick.
But yeah, so we'll be bringing this all information together for our news and try and figure out when we do some meetings together about what we're going to try and move forward with. But we hear you, chat. We hear you, and we're going to try and figure out what we're going to do about it. So, this last half, we've had a ridiculous amount of information has kind of turned up in this last part. So, I think it might be a good idea for us to kind of just review kind of what we think happened in the street outside of Troll Skull Manor. Right. You guys tell me what happened, because I don't know if I know.
So Ralph and Gnome, who is called Dalakar, rock up to give us some info.
Yeah.
They've also called Neverember to give him some, because his dad's right-hand man, Dalakar, is going to give him something. Then one of these Fringlefracks with the beard, what are they called?
Fringle rights.
Nimble rights.
Yeah.
Fringlefracks. I prefer Fringlefracks.
That's such a great name
Cannon.
for a crisp.
Oh,
They rock
the
up,
lightest.
which must mean a lord is involved.
Mm-hmm.
And then old Dagger Ursel Froxin turns up, so the Xantarum's definitely involved.
Okay.
But it's probably her in some way because he's dragged away.
Yeah.
We
See,
know that.
I
much.
reckon those things happen in reverse. I reckon old Dagger Floxin has been told, like, right, just take this bead and just go and fuck it in the front of that house, and we'll give you a load of money, and has not been told what it is. And so he's just gone, yeah, cool, easy money, go. Oh shit! And got caught in the crossfire. Then with everything in disarray, old Flingleflax has come in with the beautiful beard and picked everyone's pockets and run off.
With whatever,
Yeah.
with
and of
whatever
course-
that Dalakar had or radar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And in the
like-
meantime, Big Phatts has gone, oh shit.
And eaten the dossier
Mm.
to keep it
What a
safe.
legend. Yeah.
Okay, that sounds like you pretty much got it. I think. Problem is, I'm reading from like quite a few different versions of Dragon Heist. So if you are interested in what we're actually looking at, is a system called the Alexandrian, which is one that I am currently running with. You guys can't read it.
Mm-mm.
Hang on, let me get the camera right. Yeah. There. You guys can't read it. Yeah, you lot down the sides. But guys at home, if you are interested, the Alexandrian is actually a really good rebuild of Dragon Heist, which I'm kind of nicking some bits from because it's very, very good. So I hope that I've actually covered everything we need to cover, otherwise we're a bit fucked. So Raynar has then decided that he's going to go and try and order one of these things.
Mm-hmm.
To try and figure out where they're being ordered from, to be able to find the kind of person who made them, to maybe find out whose this particular one belongs to. And we found out a name of something as well. I think Baggi has found something.
Yes, it is the Stone of Golor. Golor?
Oh, sorry,
Whatever that is.
When I first read it, I was like, Gondor?
The Horn of Gondor?
The Stone of
exactly like that.
Gondor? But no, it's yeah, the Stone of Golor, which you've kind of seen, and it's definitely Golor. Yes, Golor.
Golor.
And you definitely now know that the Castellantes are part of the game. That is one of the first things inside the document. All right, so we are going to kind of cut down to having these kind of papers across the dining room table, and the three of you are kind of around, kind of trying to sort of speed read your way through. So what I'm going to do, I think I'm going to do some investigation. Yes, it is. Yeah, Forgotten Realms Wiki is very, very good for this kind of stuff, Daz.
Don't tell us anything, Daz. Don't tell us anything. Keep the spoilers safe.
Keep it secret. Keep it safe.
I don't know why, I just kept thinking of a chocolate advert there for some unknown reason. Okay, so I
Whisper.
Whisper. There you go. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. All right, so what I'll do is that let's as you're reading through, what was a question that you guys wanted answered about the Castellantas? And then and you can each individually do this. It doesn't have to be a collective question. This can be, and what we'll do is we'll ask the question, we'll do the check, and then we'll see what information we get about it. Does that sound good?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Evie's like, yeah. I got intelligence. Yeah. Okay,
And
I just
all
need
the
to think of a
notes as
good
well.
question now.
and I think if we get, if you want a follow-up question, we will do it. We'll do another check, but with disadvantage, and we can't use our bombs on them, and that will see if you get the follow-up question to kind of lead a little bit further in. Okay. All right. So, who wants to kind of start with their first question?
Ashley knows what she wants to ask, but it won't be helpful for the game.
Well,
I don't know if the dossier will have it. It's about her parents and why she went there and how they know them.
okay. Let's do an investigation check then.
Oh, this is well exciting.
Oh, investigation as well. 12?
12. Okay. What you find as you read through, it's very little about the Sota family, Sota clan within it. However, there is a section that talks about how this family have been closely regarded for years, mainly for the work that Sota family do for the Castellantas. It's kind of a well-known fact that they have been financed by the Castellantas for a very, very long time. And actually, you are mentioned in it as being for a short period of time being a ward for the Castellantas. Like a ward, you are a ward of the Castellantas for a short period of time. It does say that the mission that they got sent off to do was Luskan, toward the city of Luskan.
So Oshi takes that as her parents being the personal assassins for the Castellantas.
I'll give you that. There's also a sighting that was 3 weeks ago of your sister within Waterdeep.
What?
Holy Sawatsa, Batman.
But
Wow.
she was seen smashing on the doors of the Castellantas mansion, like proper smashing the doors. Okay. Follow-up question.
Is this on its own piece of paper? Do you reckon Oshi could blank this out or keep it for herself?
Okay. Well, I think
With a sleight of hand or something?
yeah, you probably do it with a sleight of hand. I'm not going to ask for any disadvantage on it because the guys are too wrapped up in their questions. Okay.
Oh, 12?
Guys, what's your passive perceptions, please?
Ooh, I think mine is 13. No, it's 15.
15. And you've got to be perceptive.
18.
Yeah, 18. You all see her fold this piece of paper and try to put it in her pocket.
Getting sloppy in your old age.
Old?
You are 6
I'm
months
8
older.
months older than you.
You are the oldest.
Yeah, by 8 months and 6.5 months of Baggi.
Doesn't matter what is it, Oshi.
It's about family. Shall I ask about yours?
I thought we were your family.
It's about my family, my other family.
You don't have to hide it.
They work for the Castellantas. That's how I ended up there. Okay.
Well,
Okay.
that makes sense. Yeah, fine.
Okay.
And then she puts it back on the table. Doesn't say anything about Savata though. If they read it, they read it.
Cool. Okay, that's a good way of putting it. Right. Okay, so then you guys want to go back to your pieces of paper. Okay, what are you guys thinking about asking?
Pups.
I was literally just about to go Evie, but no, I've got one. If you, I want to know if Ralph found any survivors, because there were all of the parents had passed away, and even like some of the kids, there was seemingly no closed up. Everything was closed up. So I want to know if he found any surviving pupils or parents of pupils from the institute.
You get a name of a small town or village outside of Waterdeep, called Duggan's Hold, which you begin reading and you start to feel very unwell as you begin to read of a mass grave. Then there is no news of survivors from the school. There is a lot of information written there about the children themselves and about the school, if you want to go to a follow-up question.
A lot of information written about this. About what did you say about the school and the pupils?
Yeah. Oh, we didn't do an investigation check, did we? All right, let's do the investigation.
No, that's fine. Let's just not.
Let's do the investigation check. So
I was like, oh, I must have asked a good
like,
question. Not your role.
Yeah, so you get to think about this mass grave, and I'll give you some more information about the school in connection to this if you do the right investigation roll.
Balls 3.
3. Okay. Yeah, I think you know that everyone's from the age of 9. The parents of those children were often disappeared or died in accidents shortly after sending the children to school. And then the children themselves have been taken away to Duggan. Did I say Duggan's Hold? What did I call it?
Yeah.
Duggan's Hold. So you can tell I made that one up on the spot. Duggan's Hold, and been placed in a mass grave outside of the city, like way outside of the city itself. There's a question mark over something, and it says Asmodeus ? And it's sort of like left in the margins, like blue pencil. Do you want to follow up with disadvantage?
Yeah.
Okay, let's take
I'll follow up with disadvantage. Let's go.
Please.
Oh, set fire to the dossier.
I was just about to say it sets on fire.
Spontaneous combustion.
I think we're going to do this for a little bit anyway, running around getting some more information. I think this is actually quite a fun. I'm quite enjoying this, so I think you'll have another chance to have a look at this.
Okay.
Okay, Baggi. I'm assuming that you shared this, by the way, out, unless you say otherwise.
Cool. I would like to know about the whereabouts. Where is Ollivander, the eldest child of the Castellantas?
Yep, let's do the investigation check. This needs to be extremely high, by the way.
Well, I will use my last advantage then on this, please, and thank you. Big 2. It's a 13.
You still got another one, Evie.
Okay. There is no evidence that Ollivander ever left Waterdeep. The rumour said that he went to another school outside of the city, but there's no witnesses have said that they've seen him leave. There was no sort of farewell party, which is usual. The name of the school they wasn't able to find in any of the major cities along the sort of coast. So they believe. So I think Ralph believes that Ollivander is still here in the city.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to follow up for a disadvantage?
Well, I mean, I might as well. What do I want to... Do I have to ask a follow-up question? No, I do, don't I?
Yep, ask a follow-up question.
About then... well, about the twins, I suppose, is probably the natural follow-up from that. It's 17. Why couldn't I have before?
Okay, that's a fucking great disadvantage. Okay, you have a side note that says see page 26, which is Pups was holding page 26, and he sort of grabs it out and you see the Asmodeus ? And what you kind of read is about how what's the kid's called again?
One sec, I'll tell you.
I should know this.
Terenzio and Alzarina.
Alzarina. Yeah, I do with that. That sounds good. Again, there's no evidence that they've left the city. But he then starts to write about the cult of Asmodeus. And the connection towards the school. 9 years, ? It comes up a lot. And then it kind of leads back to a piece of history about how the Castellantis had no money to begin with and suddenly had a lot of money. I think there's a question about another family called the Greylands, or the Gralhuns. And maybe there's some sort of devil worship going on here. I'll allow somebody else to go into a little bit further into that if they wanted to as part of their questions as we go round again. Oshi.
Yeah. Was it the Greylands? You said the family?
The Gralhuns.
The
Gralhuns. You've been in their warehouse. That was the statue of the devil that you guys found in that warehouse.
And so they're mates with the Castellantis?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah,
well,
can I ask...
They're lords, and they're sort of lords of lords, aren't they?
Yeah. Elite crew. Can I look to see if there's anything more about them?
Yep.
Can I use an advantage, please?
No.
Oh, okay. 14. Well, I didn't mind anyway. 14.
Oh, no, you can. Yeah, you can. You can't use it on your follow-up. That's the question.
Oh, okay.
So if you want to do it again, that's fine.
Is 14 not enough?
No, I'm going to let you roll again with the advantage because I screwed it up there.
Ah, frick. 13.
Okay. So about the Grolhuns. The Grolhuns, you see not a lot of information about them because this is mainly about the Castellantis. But it does have a side note of they are a minor family, not really seen as being a position of power. Also, just finds it interesting that I think Ralph finds it interesting that they've been they're connected to this cult in some way. Obviously, he thinks it's something to do with the power play in some way. But there's not a lot of information in here, I'm afraid, about the Grolhuns because it's a Castellantis document.
Even so, literally their relationship is that they're lords.
And there's a connection via the cult, I think, but that's about it.
Can my follow-up be more about the cult?
Yep, sure. So let's do a disadvantage roll.
50. Oh, 3.
3. Ooh. You think the cult is in connection to the social disappearance of the children.
Okay.
Pups. I love that none of you talk to us about the game in any way. It's all like, what's going on with the school? These bastards are going to die. We're going to kill them. We don't give a shit about this fucking game. We want to kill these cunts.
Yeah, so I think my next round of questions is going to be about that, but also just something that flagged up from previous. Has there been any scandal around the Castellantis? I'm specifically looking about 2 instances. First, our instance when we escaped, and presumably all of the teachers melted into demons. Was that covered in the press? And second, has anything happened since? Or have all the children just been harvested onto this into this mound or this den? Was
This
it Duggan's
school-
Hold?
This school has been seen as squeaky clean. Nothing's been reported in the press about it at all. And I think Ralph spoke about that before with you guys when you were at the 90 Bells. He said that there was not a lot of news, or editors would often stop the news from being spread. I'll give you another question, and then you can do your investigation check on this. You can ask you another question because we keep forgetting to do your investigation before I answer the question.
I'm fine with it. So a double chill runs down Pups' spine at reading that. Firstly, because of the sheer number of children that means, and secondly, because that does not explain how Puggle got out.
Nope.
And that's kind of terrifying. But I think Pups would like to look up anything in relating to the word enigma.
Okay. Yes. Okay, dokie. So you find you spin through. Oh, investigation check. Have my free information.
I think seeing as the chat have been so generous with their bomb giving, I'm gonna have to use one, really, aren't I? Just give
Drop
the people
that
what they
bomb.
want.
Oh, mate.
Okay. The Neverember Enigma.
Yeah.
This is almost on page 1. So this is why I'm going to give it to you.
Thanks.
Neverember Enigma. The tale tells of Lord Neverember was once the open lord of Waterdeep, and before he left office, he embezzled and stole 500,000 gold pieces from the city itself, and has hidden it somewhere in the city. The enigma is finding the location of this. What Ralph has actually found out is that Lord Neverember has wiped his own memory of this thing. Like, he doesn't know where the vault is either. But he placed the location into the memory of a stone.
Oh shit! Pup says.
A number of people have also throughout the time since he went missing, which was about 15 years ago, have tried to look for it and been trying to find this enigma. There's so many enigmas going around the city that there's always some sort of puzzle that the rich are looking for. But this one in particular is sort of kept as a bit more of a hush-hush secret. It doesn't seem to kind of have much say or much sway in anything really, except for about 8 months ago. Once, and it seems to have kicked off during this kind of beginnings of this war between the Xantarum and the Xanathar. That's what I'm giving you for a 4, okay? Because that's on page 1. Okay.
That is very kind of you.
I've not given you a follow-up. So...
I think with all the free information I've had without rolls, I think I have. I will not be pursuing this further. Thank you.
All right, Baggi.
Baggi would really like to know about what the Stone of Golor is all about.
Okay, limited information about the Stone of Golor. So let's do the roll.
Okay, come on, I've got a high investigation. Oh, it's a 20.
with the crit on the back side of it as well. So Stone of Golor, has actually been broken up into essentially 4 parts.
Is that it?
It's 4 parts.
Oh.
3 eyes and the stone itself.
3 eyes and the stone itself. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not going to give you any more than that.
Oh my god. Okay.
That's a lot. That is a lot of information that I
no,
should
that's
not be
great.
telling you guys right now. But for a 20 and a 25 sitting there on the crits on the backside of it, like, I'll
Thank
give you
you.
that. All right.
Thank you very much.
Oh, I will also
getting-
say that nowhere in the document, when you're reading it, it talks about the eyes a lot.
Right.
It doesn't talk about the stone very much at all. Like, it's almost as if the stone has not been around, and then suddenly it is.
Okay. I'm so confused now. My brain.
All right. Well, I'm going to say that if you wanted to do more research about it, like outside of here in libraries and things like that,
Yeah.
that was when you could really, really dig into what the hell is this stone. Okay.
Amazing. Okay, cool. Thank you. Oh God, I'm just thinking about every other time we've ever had any eyes in the whole thing. I'm like, maybe it was the gazer, maybe it's the watchful order, maybe it's the, I don't know.
I reckon it's going to be like Fifth Element. You know, the stones are in me. You have to go to some intergalactic opera singer and
take it
It's
out
our
of
Start
third eye.
All right.
or it's going to.
Okay. Do you want to follow up? Go
Well-
on. Go on. do a
Well,
follow-up.
I don't know.
Do it.
I mean, I just, that stone is just annoying me. Okay. Follow up is going to be actually, yeah. Can I do a completely random follow up? Because I feel like I can't really ask more about the stone.
Well, you can ask more about the stone. I don't know. I mean, I think you'd have to hit a crit to get any more info.
Okay, I'll give it a go.
But you can also mine out further, and you might be able to get some more informations around it. So it's totally up to you. I'm just gonna say that like nothing's impossible. Do you-
Okay. I would like to know. God. I mean, ideally, I want to know where this stone came from in the first place.
Okay.
Or who created it, or just where. I'm going to use a bomb, if I have a bomb. I think I have a bomb.
Yeah, do a bomb.
Yeah. Okay, great. So here we go. Please be a crit. It's a 20 again.
Ooh, dirty 20.
No. No.
Never mind. Never mind.
It's literally that one more piece, and it would, it'd probably tip you over the edge of like what. So no, we're gonna do one more
Fucking hell.
round. We're gonna do
Great.
one more round, and also I think when Rob comes back, he's gonna have a quick flick through on the toilet, and he's gonna have a couple of rounds of this, so he can ask some questions, because I think that's only fair.
So it becomes the Lou book. I
The
love
Lou
that.
book. Yeah, the dossier becomes the Lou book.
The magazine.
Okay. Oshisota.
Oshi doesn't get this whole eyes thing.
Mhm.
But is that what you've just tried to ask, Baggi?
No, you can
Kind of.
ask. You've asked about the stone again. As I said, nothing's impossible.
How many advantages have I got? Dan, what? Just one left, is it?
You have got 3.
Oh. Yeah, I'll use an investigation. Can Oshi put her glasses on so that I can get like extra advantage?
You can't get extra advantage.
She's never walked that way. She's like, what the fuck are these stones?
Hey, we got a quad crit on Dragonfly with
We did.
Philly.
I saw that. It was insane.
She got a 7, so I'm assuming she's just going to be reading the letter I's.
Yeah, making sure each of them are dotted.
Yeah.
The eyes. I think the info that you get is that when the stone is complete, so the eyes are with the stone, they will direct you to the location of the vault. I'll give you that.
Okay.
Just
can
so
I
it's
ask-
not a complete waste. Follow-up question.
Are they humanoid eyes
Good question.
with a 3?
What did you roll?
A 3.
A 3. You have no idea. You imagine them to be so.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, Pups. What do you
So
want to ask?
Ralph arrived with Dalakar, right?
Yeah.
So they've had some kind of conversation, I'm assuming.
Hmm.
So I want to know if in the dossier it mentions what Dalakar was bringing to Neverember.
There is a transcript of a conversation between the two of them, in which Dalakar, actually I should have given this for your 20 really, as in which Dalakar states that he has the Stone of Golor and wants to return it to Neverember, so that him and his father can get this gold out of Waterdeep.
Oh, frick, someone's taken it.
Wait.
It does also, the next part of the line is, "What? Wait," says Ralph in the transcript. And Dalakar says, "Yes, they haven't spoken for 15 years. And this is a way to make amends, if Raynar will accept."
Okay.
Love this action from Dad, like,
Ah! I've just written down Dalakar. Okay. So my follow-up question. Is there any hint whatsoever as to where did he get on the scent of any of the stones?
oh fuck, I didn't ask you to fucking roll an investigation again, did
No,
I?
you did not.
Did
You did not.
it?
And I rolled really high on my stealth check and completely no-sold it.
It's because Dad is just so charming.
I
with
do
his
not want
arms
to play
out.
Cluedo with you. That is it. I'm not playing Cluedo with you. Okay.
What's wrong with his face? I wouldn't matter no
Roll an investigation with disadvantage and then ask you a question.
Okay. Can I
Motherfucker.
use my bomb to make it a regular?
No, you cannot. Oh, what did you roll? Let's have a look.
Hang on. 5.
A 5. Okay, what's your
5?
question?
Was there any kind of did he get any kind of like scent of tracking any of the stones? Did he like find the eyes? Sorry, so he found out about the Stone of Golor. Was there any kind of like, oh, I've got a lead on like where the first stone might be?
4 or 5.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say that Okay, I'm going to allow you to pass that question to Baggi. Baggi can use that question, but you're not going to get anything for a 5. I think the handwriting's too squiggly.
No, that's fair. I prefer it when you don't ask me to roll anyway. It's okay.
Wait, what was Dan's question? Because I was just scribbling my own question because I
He was
really want to ask.
asking about the location or anything about like the first eyes or where the eyes started from, like where.
Has he got like a hint as to where he can find like the first eye? Is it like, oh, I don't know where it is, but if I go and speak to this person, that it's been said that they might know.
Because I really wanted to ask quite a specific question.
Okay.
I think.
Okay, Baggi.
I would Baggi.
So Baggi looks at the piece of paper. And then she kind of looks up to the sky and there's this like bearded fellow with glasses sort of looks like in the clouds, and she goes, "Oh, I wonder if I could figure this out without having to roll anything, because my friend has also done that." And she gets a nosebleed.
Don't you have beautiful eyes up there?
She gets a little
Pretty eye.
nosebleed from meta thinking. All right, so
Baggi.
what you find out about the last question, and almost like you clear up the thing, and then I'll let you ask your own question as well.
Great.
Double question.
Okay.
So you find out that the Dalakar was trying to take the stone and an eye out of the city, but was captured by Xanathar. Xanathar, whilst he was there, was meeting with the Zhentarim. And Xanathar, who had an eye, it went missing. And so he blamed the Zhentarim, which has started the war.
Wow.
So that
You say Xanathar, I? Or
Xanathar,
Zhentarim?
So the
Xanathar had an eye. The Zhentarim came to see Xanathar when Dalakar was trying to leave the city and was captured by Xanathar. And then Xanathar's eye got stolen, and Xanathar blamed the Zhentarim.
But Dalakar still had the stone
But
to give.
he still had the stone. So essentially, his eye was taken by Xanathar. Zhentarim had stolen. It's all kind of, now we've got this all open thing going on. So essentially now, look at this right. Xanathar took a stone from Dalakar. Then it got stolen when the Zhentarim were there, and Xanathar's blamed the Zhentarim for stealing the eye.
Oh, so
So-
we only... Go. Sorry, go.
No, go on, Dan.
That's the
Okay.
only one you know about in terms of movement.
Great. So obviously, and you need all three in order for the stone to work. So my question, this could be a complete fuck up,
Oh.
is Baggy wants to know if it's anything to do with jewelry. So the red locket, the red pendant that has been brought up, or the lockets. If it is some kind of piece, if the eyes are linked to jewelry. Could be completely barking up the wrong tree. Dan,
Yes,
do I have any
Susie.
more bombs?
You do, you have two.
I want to use a bomb, please. It's sorry.
It
that could
crits
be
it.
a rubbish
That's-
question.
Right, okay. In the transcript between Dalakar and Ralph, a question comes up of, do you know where the eyes are? He says, I only know of this one. But then he says, but Neverember hid one in a locket.
Which we've got.
Which you have.
Oh, she's got.
But you also know it's empty.
It's been taken. It's been
Great.
scooped. Damn it.
Damn it.
So that is what we're looking for then.
So who do you know? Who do you think has the eye from the locket?
Zhentarim.
Great.
No,
It was
So-
taken in Grohan's
Yeah.
warehouse.
So
Yeah.
you know that Zhentarim are the ones who had it because they took it off radar and got rid of it, leaving
So
the
they
empty
have-
locket. So
they have two?
Zhentarim have got one. Hang on a sec. Let me get this right. Zhentarim, Xanathar. It's so hard to keep track of these.
Because what was Grohan? Hang on, I have a little table.
Uh,
Loser.
So I love it when I'm the one who gets confused by it. So
So the Zhentarim have one from the Xanathars,
Yeah, they stole
that's
it.
it. This is it. Yeah.
and they must have one from the warehouse because the Gohan's warehouse was mostly Zhentarim. So they have two.
They've got two.
So where is the third one?
We need to go Zhentarim slaying. La 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 la.
Yeah.
But also that was about 8 months ago. The war's been going on for a long time between those two. You know this one recently. You know the Zhentarim have one. You know that for sure.
So they have at least one, and it could be two, or that one they previously stolen could have somehow made its way back to Xanathars / any other people who are in the Neverember, the Enigma.
And would
from piecing all this together, would we have deduced that one of the eyes is possibly also the location of the memory? Or is that a different bead altogether?
I think the way you understand it is that the memory is held within the stone. You kind of need the whole thing kind of be put together.
All four
Okay.
parts. North,
Oh,
east,
that's
southwest.
Such a great idea, Daz. I really wish I thought about that. And the third one is in Par's Blaze dagger as a gemstone. I was like, that is such a great idea. I really wish I stole that. That would be brilliant. No, never mind.
To go all the way back, callbacks
be
back to Black
so
Star Lane.
good.
Well, I was thinking, could it be in the, where Affa kept all the shit with the women, the hair.
Oh, the scalps and stuff.
Yeah, in the basement of the barbers.
I think the question I have for you guys is what skin in the game has the Castellanta's got?
Money.
Asmodeus.
If the other two players have got something, or look as if they've had something, the Castellantas in this game hardly mentioned. Like,
Oh, they got one as well.
Considering it's not like, because considering it's a dossier about Castellantas, when it comes to the Enigma section, they're hardly mentioned.
True. They've got spies everywhere.
I don't understand.
Okay.
Do they have an eye?
So
They must have an eye.
That's not confirmed nor denied in the
No,
document.
yeah.
That's, I think, what I'm trying to say. That it's not confirmed nor denied in the document. Considering, like, there's talk about them being part of a cult, them connected to the school, the children being kind of put into mass graves, the financial kind of stuff of the Xanathars losing money, then suddenly being in money, the fact that Osvaldo never left the city, and none of the children ever seem to have left the city. And when it comes to the Enigma, there's a lot. The Enigma is still part of this dossier. A dossier about Castellantas. Do you see what I mean? Like, they do have something in it. Ralph thinks, anyway. Conversation with Dalakar. What you see there is that he had the Stone of Golor. He was bringing it to Raynar in order to try and help Raynar and Lord Neverember Senior to kind of get back together as a family and to take and try and get this gold out of the city. You know that the Xanathar had one of the eyes and it was stolen, presumably by the Zentarum, but nobody knows. But he's blamed the Zentarum for it, which has started the war. Dalakar had knows that there was an eye inside the locket that Raynar had, and you guys know that is taken by the Zentarum. The stone itself wipes the memory of the location. The stone needs 3 eyes in order to locate the tomb. I think that is all of the things that you found.
I think so. Yeah. Which is a lot, actually.
It is a
Yeah,
hell of
loads.
It is a hell of a lot.
I'm still thinking about your question there about what skin in the game do the Castellantas have? Because what do the Castellantas need? Their principal chief need is to keep this harvesting of kids so that their kids can survive and that the deal with Asmodeus can not be broken.
Well, it's also about what Asmodeus wants from them. So Asmodeus wants souls of 9-year-olds specifically. So why that? Why 9-year-olds?
All right.
So-
So, all 3 of you are going to make an intelligence investigation check. In fact, as you know, all of you are going to make an intelligence saving throw. All three of you. If the majority of you succeed over the number of 15, I will help you along with that. All right, so let's just do this one by one so we can see what's going on.
Okay.
So, Oshi, can you do an intelligence saving throw for me, please?
Oh, crit.
Oh, crits it!
Oh, wow. Okay, crits it.
Crit.
Okay,
Yes, Oshi.
Pups. Intelligence saving throw.
Rolling like shit all day. Come on, this is the time to turn it around. Come on.
Okay, this is all down to Baggi.
Come on,
Baggi.
Baggy. Come on.
Oh!
Fucking
No, I'm not
hell.
helping you.
Ah.
No, it's kind of
I'm
like the
turning
thoughts.
Turning these 3D dice off, man. Bad
almost
dice
like-
juju.
What I imagine that to be is sort of a visualization of you guys sort of chatting it out at the table with those roles, and coming up with different theories and shooting them down and coming up with different stuff and putting them down and things like this. Dan, I think this kind of what ends up happening is we see you guys sort of like discussing this through, and the enigma suddenly, you realize that you guys are starting to having an interest in this so-called game, or the Neverember enigma. As you become more and more interested in what this is all about, mainly as a way of making sure that it's almost like you don't want to win, but you just want to make sure the Castellantis don't.
Yeah.
So I think you'll sort of sit there in silence, sort of sipping tea that little Rix is sort of bringing over. He only comes down to make you guys tea and goes back up and sits in the workshop with Big Phatts. That's kind of what he does. But you guys sort of sit there in silence. And I'd like you to kind of think about and vocalize how you think you would use this game to destroy the Castellantis. And I think that's kind of what you're thinking about when you're sort of sat at the table in silence. So I'm going to give you the choice. You can either sort of speak it and bring it out to the table, in real life, as in like, what's the word? In game. There you go. Or you can sort of speak it out here in the stream, so we all hear your thoughts.
Pups is thinking, if we get our hands on that money, then we could hire someone to find wherever the Castellantis children are and strike a bargain with them. Maybe have to threaten them, maybe have to blackmail them, but they are going to willingly give themselves to Asmodeus. And if we've got 500,000 gold, what better people to hire than her own private assassins?
All right. Baggy, what are you thinking about?
Baggy is mostly fixated on the numbers. The number 9, the 3 eyes, and the 4 parts. The fact that she's convinced that it must be about 9,000 children, and working out why the Castellantis want that deal with Asmodeus, and surely it's about something else. They obviously want power, otherwise they wouldn't be doing something so disgustingly horrific. And what is that deal? And what does Asmodeus want from it? Is it just blindly wanting souls for the sake of it, or is it because Asmodeus needs something in return? And Baggy just keeps thinking about an army, potentially, and the cult, and how the only way that we can stop everything like that from happening is to get that money and get that power and prevent them from gaining more power and exposing them.
Okay. Oshi. I don't know why I'm giggling when I think about Oshi, what Oshi's thinking about this.
Well, she's in her head, she's thinking about going in and killing the parents in their sleep to scare the children and giving themselves up. But out loud to the group, she pulls out the paper with the numbers on it that she got from the person that kidnapped her, spreads it out on the table and says, unless it's an account book, I don't care about numbers, but I found this on the body, so it might help in some way. And pushes it towards Pups and Baggi. And then places the empty locket on top of it as well.
What does it say?
It's just numbers written. It's just like loads of numbers written on over it. There must be a code.
It looks like, could it be coordinates maybe of a place?
Would like me have to break it.
I feel like Baggy just immediately starts trying to decipher the code.
I will give you one roll. A nice investigation check.
Well, I'm gonna use an advantage. Please. 19.
Okay. Let's see what it says, shall we? Okay, so you start looking at the numbers, and you start to kind of changing the numbers to being a feeling about letters, and letters kind of connecting to enigmas, and enigmas kind of connecting to ciphers, etc. Just give me 1 second.
You cracked it.
I hope so.
I'm loving how
I
much
love a cipher. I absolutely love a cipher.
the chat has been popping off with theories. It's been epic.
Okay. It begins to. You see kind of a word sort of emerge from the numbers, as you see the word Skullport sort of begin to appear, and you find an entranceway. Coordinate, or at least a name of 2 streets in the dock ward. The name that you kind of see is you see Lackpurse and Reach is the 2 roads that you kind of see, and then the word Skullport.
Lackpurse and Reach. Skullport.
Yep.
I know where we need to go.
Shit. Okay, cool. Oh, what have I done? What have I done? Okay, cool.
It's all right. It was the dice. We got the paper out. Dice decided. It's okay.
Okay, so as she says, was it? Do you say the word Skullport, or do you just say, "I know where we need to go"?
I just said I know where we need to go.
All right. So we kind of like begin to kind of move away from the table. The papers strewn across as we go up to the stairs. As we kind of go into the workshop, we see little Rick sort of like asleep on the body on the chest of Big Phatts, as there's suddenly this like smoke ring kind of comes out of his mouth as we fade to black.
Oh,
Okay. I think those of you at home, thank you for trying to keep up with all of the information that was being flown around all the way through there. Yes,
People have been loving it, saying that they need to watch it more than once, but people have been loving it.
there is a lot of information being flown around. But I do think that this is kind of an interesting thing, especially with Baggi going Skullport. We should go to Skullport.
Maybe not a great idea.
No, it's
yet.
fucking brilliant. Let's go to Skullport. It'd be great. Let's go. It'd be great.
Are we all gonna die?
Probably. Right. So
We go on a reconnaissance
Go.
mission. We get
It's
this
fine.
guy's self.
there we go.
Yeah,
That's what we're
and
talking
also,
about.
We
if
scope
Rob's
it out
back next
first.
week, he'll die. It'll be fine.
You better hope.
So yeah, I think that's.
Skullport.
I think this is the thing though, of
Darkwood
like.
jungle where Big Phatts will die.
So you guys know that, like, now you're on the search for something. You know what it is you're searching for. You possibly know a location where something might be. And also you've got this Nimblewright problem to consider as well.
Oh yeah, tangled webs.
Tangled webs of tangled enigmas of problems of puzzles of Cluedo. So, yeah. So yes, there's a lot of information. We will go over this again. I probably each week.
Poor Rob. Poor Rob's gonna have to do the recap.
Oh, it's gonna be so good.
I'm excited.
So I think it's going to be an interesting one. I am kind of looking forward to you kind of sneaking into places and maybe heisting some high level gangster shit, and sort of like getting hold of these eyes and trying to find your way through. So yes, we are level 4. There wasn't a lot to do at level 4. Most people just take ISIs, etc. But I think next week what we'll do, Daz, is we'll actually go through what we've done for our level 4, so you guys can have a look and see the mechanics of what we've been trying. Does that sound good? Hopefully that'll be all right, Daz. Yeah, cool, wicked. So I think that'll be a nice way of doing it. I think we've I don't think I've really missed Rob this week. I think it's been.
Oh.
But I'm really looking forward to having the 4 of you back with us next week, and of course all of you guys back at home as well. It'd be wonderful to have you with us. I would like to say thank you to D20 for that subscribe. Big love, beloved. Thank you very much for that. And we should continue thinking about how we're going to kind of make this channel a little better for you, to have a little bit more content for you. And as usual, unless we have any other announcements to talk through.
Yes, sorry to jump in just before you sign off. Today is the final day that you can use the Pups Mercy discount in the merch store. So if you want to celebrate the week that we've just had, support what we've got coming next, like, please do. I'm going to put it in the chat now. That's our merch link, and then the discount code 27% off is Pups Mercy. So it's finishing in 2 hours, an hour 55. So yeah, head there once we've finished and see if you fancy something in there.
Lovely. Alrighty. Well, I've just seen there's lots of points being spent in the chat. Some of you are discernibly not spending your points, you naughty rascals. But I will always say, keep planning heists against your landlords. Nick stuff from Tesco, why not? And I'll see you guys next week. Big love. See you later. Bye.
Wave.